Hello, bonjour. I am Crandall. Welcome to the podcast that answers the question, if a million monkeys typing will write Shakespeare, what can a few dozen monkeys do? Together, we're going to write and illustrate a 10,000 word story. That's right. I'm inviting you. This is your invitation. RSVP. All right, we're going to write 10 1,000 word chapters. There are going to be specific beats that you have to cover in your 1,000 word chapter. I'll give you 2 weeks to complete the assignment, and then I'll need a week to record and, put it all together, get the illustrations, etc. for the chapter. So this is going to be an every 3 weeks podcast. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't forget that we exist, because you do not want to miss this. There's not going to be any formal outline. It's just going to be the beats. So there's not going to be no one's really going to know where we're going except by looking at the beats. It's going to be fun. So because this is the first podcast, we have to find out the genre. We have to find ourselves a beat sheet to go with that genre. Then once we figure all that out, I'm going to have a brainstorm with, I'm not going to tell you who. It's a very special guest. You'll never guess who it is. You'll see. Then I'm going to ask you to submit your chapter. All submissions that follow the rules, which I'll tell you later, will be entered into the tombola, and we'll have a chance to be part of this story. And if you're a writer, you should do this. If you're not a writer, you should do this. Why not? Have a good time. I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's a scraping sound. That's one of the cats here at the Spooky Room Productions recording studio playing with some party lights. It's a long story. Anyway, like I said, we are going to have brainstorms, so don't be afraid that you're like, I don't know how to cover these beats. I don't know what I'm going to write. You can follow the brainstorm, of course you cannot. It's all just a good time. So, oh God, this is going to call the cat over. He will not be able to resist. I have my dice tower. My die tower. Dice? Die tower. Yeah, I like that. It's the die tower. So, looking on masterclass.com, which is actually a film website, but stories are stories, right? So it's fine. We can use these film genres. I don't want to do in-depth Googling for this. That's kind of anathema to what we're doing here. All right. According to masterclass.com, there are 13 main film genres. So I guess I will use a D20 to roll this, because every one of these genres is now going to be assigned a number. Here they are. 1, action. 2, adventure. 3, comedy. 4, drama. 5, fantasy. 6, horror. 7, musical. Oh, okay, well, that one, I don't think we can, we'll leave that one out. 7, mystery. 8, romance. 9, science fiction. 10, sports. 11, thriller. And 12, western. So I guess now I can use the D12. So that's good, I guess. Rolling time. And we have a 6. 6 is horror. Oh, goody. Is this your genre or not? If it's not your genre, maybe it's time to explore, because this is a low to no stakes situation here. And if you're a writer or any artist really that's trying to put their stuff out there, the stress is annoying and huge. So we're here to just do what we did when we were kids and just had a good time writing what we wanted, just because. According to masterclass.com, horror films feature elements that leave people with an overwhelming sense of fear and dread. Horror movies often include serial killers or monsters as persistent evil antagonists to play on viewers' fears or nightmares. Audiences who love the horror genre seek out these movies specifically for the adrenaline rush produced by ghosts, gore, monsters, and jump scares. Ooh. Okay. You want to write that? Does that sound like fun? Just hold your horses, because now we have to find a subgenre. And according to masterclass.com, there are 8 subgenres in the horror genre. So here we go. We're going to assign each of these to a number on a die. Here we go. 1, psychological. 2, slasher. 3, gore. 4, body. 5, found footage. 6, monster. 7, paranormal. 8, comedy. Comedy sounds the hardest to me. Which one do you hope it is? Watch it be comedy. Now I said that. Oh my god. All right, let's roll the die. Oh shit. It fell out of the thing. Here we go. Let's roll the die. Oh my god. Okay. I'm not going to... I've been throwing it into the hole at the top. I will not throw it. And we have 3, which is gore. Oh, goodness. Does gore sound like fun to you? It kind of sounds like fun. According to masterclass.com, gore films, also called splatter films, zero in on the vulnerability of the human body, often with frequent close-ups. Example of gore films include The Evil Dead and Saw. Well, now we know we're writing a horror story. Now we know we're writing a gore story. Now it's time to find the beats. I'm going to go on the internet for that. Just a sec. The first person that came up when I asked for horror story beats is T.L. Bodine, who will be our guru. And he wrote this beat list on Tumblr. Let's go. So, according to T.L. Bodine, there are 15 beats. We'll overview them now, just real quick. And then we'll go into detail as we need to write them. But of course, T.L. Bodine will be linked everywhere, so you can look them up. You can look them up yourself and get all that juicy information. Also, there will be information on spookyroomproductions.com. Check it out. Sorry, there's a cat. The cat has infiltrated the recording studio, and I'm nervous. Oh, he's going away. Okay. Here are the 15 horror story beats according to T.L. Bodine. 1, the world is not what it seems. 2, putting the players... Oh, and the cat is knocking things over. 2, putting the players in action. 3, setting them on the path. 4, the warning. 5, the first contact with the monster. 6, shit gets real. 7, the chase. 8, failed confrontation. 9, the darkest hour. 10, a different solution. 11, seeking out the beast. 12, the true cost is revealed. 13, sacrifices are made or not. 14, the inevitable fallout. 15, evil cannot be conquered, only delayed. Of course, this reminds everyone. Okay, now the cat is... Can you hear it around? It's fine. It's fine. So there are 10 chapters. So they're going to have to be 1.5 beats per chapter. That works out pretty good. And oh, do you hear that? Oh, I think it's time for a brainstorm. To do that, we're definitely going to have to use the secret bookcase door to enter into the Spooky Room Productions lounge. And hopefully someone will be there to brainstorm with us. And here we are now in the Spooky Room Productions lounge, the beautiful fireplace. And I see Ripley. Ripley, hi.
Old man Ripley.
I was just coming in here to do a little brainstorm.
I used to be a big deal, you know.
Do you want?
Back in the day when Google Plus was a thing.
Oh, that's...
People knew who I was, but now, nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, Ripley, do you want to have a little brainstorm about gore monsters?
I love gore so much. All I want is monsters in my life. Monsters.
So, since this is the first episode, we need to decide on really basic things about this story. And so we're going to talk about setting. We're going to talk about type of monster. And those are the main two things. I guess we should talk briefly about the two parts of the story that are going to be needed in this upcoming 1,000 words. So, anyway, let's not overwhelm Ripley. He looks frightened.
Oh, my God.
It's okay.
I was thinking about a monster.
No, we can brainstorm one thing at a time.
Okay.
You want to start with the monster or the setting?
Well, setting is decided by monster, and monster is decided by setting. So, intertwined. And since this is an audio medium, I will show you intertwining my fingers.
I'll
Like
insert
so.
I'll insert an intertwining fingers noise or sound effect.
Yeah.
Go ahead. There he goes.
Squeaky door inch.
There he goes. He's intertwining his fingers.
Very
That's
good.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Do you want a monster that is supernatural, or biological, or human? And so, psychological.
Monsters in movies and horror things are usually, they have a purpose, and the purpose is to show human beings their own failings or the failings of their environment. Like a lot of horror monsters are revenge based. Can you name some, Ripley?
Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead, Freddy, he's revenge based.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Who else is it? Jason?
Definitely Jason.
But Jason also didn't like sluts and partying and having fun.
That's because they were slutting it up and partying it up instead of watching the kids, and that's why he died.
So I guess it is. Let's keep that in mind. I guess
For
that revenge.
supernatural Jason.
And I guess also because we'll generally in a horror movie as well, there's sort of a big story with the monster, and then there's also an internal story with the characters, and that mirrors kind of the monster story, at least if it's a good story, if you ask me.
Plus, it's the revenge of either the Earth, or the Earth could be like, oh, well, something about your society, etc., is having its revenge on you for living your horrible way. Because, the atomic monsters were all revenge on humans for their horrible atomic ways and destroying the Earth, etc., like Gojira.
Okay, yeah, we can
stuff
work with
like that. So that's revenge as well. Or swamp monsters or things where they're like, oh, you've destroyed the planet, so now the swamp attacks.
I mean, the destruction of the environment is always...
Jason is more direct than a human intelligence, where it's like, oh, well, you did this, so I'm going to do that. Or
maybe I should...
Freddy is also a psychological, oh, you killed me, so I'm going to kill all your kids.
Yes. I realized that I didn't really introduce you. Ripley is here because he is an expert on horror movies and game design.
Crandall has to say that because Crandall is my assistant.
He is pointing a gun at me right now. I'll put in a gun holding up sound effect.
I'm just dry clicking a revolver.
Yeah, they hear that. They hear. I love the magical soundscape of my podcast. Anyway, okay, so
will it have human intelligence?
It will have human form.
Okay.
But you
right.
remember
you
as
mean,
well.
You mean as in a bipedal form?
Yeah. Yeah. But then does the alien in Aliens, I mean, he walks on two legs.
Yeah,
she
bipedal
walks
as
on
well.
2 legs, so.
And Pumpkinhead also a bipedal
That's
humanish
true.
form.
Well, he's almost totally human.
Except
right?
for the tail and the big pumpkin
Well,
head and the claws.
I
but-
suppose,
but yeah.
okay. This is why Rip's here, because I do not know as
And
much.
Freddy's human, and
Yeah.
Jason's human. So,
Yeah.
human-ish.
Yeah,
Because
but we're
that's
talking
the
about...
way it reflects the monster back at you.
We do
It
have
shows
to-
you a human that's deformed in some way by the horrible thing you've done to the world.
But we have to keep in mind that gore is the goal.
Yes.
So what kind of monster would make the most gory? Because if it's something like a worm, which is not human kind of looking at all,
Mm-hmm.
it can burrow into skin.
I.e.
It can.
squirm.
I'm not trying to
Or-
rip
or
off any movie.
slugs,
No, I'm just trying
or-
to. I'm trying to offer another point of view. It's a brainstorm.
Yeah, I know, but
Okay, listen to
genreification.
the brainstorm. You can hear it raging
Is that
outside.
the worm squirming?
No. And the beautiful fireplace. It's warm in here.
It is.
It's nice. It's a
Nice.
little warm.
Oh, I like this new mic stand too.
Oh,
I can really get
yeah.
real close and feel very intimate.
Okay, but anyway, I am not discounting completely your humanoid, I said fantasy, idea. So, sure, I'll go humanoid. Why not? Because humanoids, like you said, it's a reflection of...
Or even just full human with one monstrous attribute.
Sure. Or it could be something that's completely like a ghost. And because I'm just trying to, like I said, I'm trying to be gore specific.
No
But
ghosts.
I guess no ghosts?
No ghosts.
There's nothing gory about a ghost?
Ghost stories suck.
Okay. I hope I don't roll a ghost story.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what happened today. Today is gore story.
Well, you got gore, and there's two kinds of gore.
Okay.
There is the gore that is the humans being killed,
Yeah.
or the gore of the monsters being killed, i.e. zombies. All the zombie gore is
No, I don't
zombies
wanna
being
do
killed in
zombie.
horrible ways.
I don't want to do zombie.
Mhm.
Okay.
So it's the victims' gore, the gore of the victims.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, maybe
Mhm.
at the end, of course, if the monster is defeated.
Yes, of course that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So you're going to need something that's going to kill a lot of humans in lots of interesting and gory ways.
So I suppose we're talking about a load 'em up and knock 'em down kind of horror story, like as in
Mhm.
like a Jason or something where there's like a group of kids and they all have little personalities.
Oh, you have
and-
to have a group, otherwise you can't have different gores.
That's true.
the
'cause he
different
needs-
kills.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And even a monster like an elf could have a gun. So the gore is not necessarily done by the
If you
creature's
have
own
not
extremities.
seen
Elves.
elves, you have just watch. It's
Go watch
such
Elves.
a good time. We must have on Rip's podcast. What's it called again? Monster
Vault.
Vault.
It's been so long.
Burn.
It's coming regular episodes soon.
Regular. Yeah. Exactly.
Concordia is almost there.
There you go. The excitement of Concord. You wanna? Well, I'll get you to plug all your
Shark.
at the end. Okay, dude. Come on.
I'll plug my
Sheep.
at the end.
Non-spawn. Actually, he bought me this wine. Okay, fine. Spawn.
Actually, I on a note like that, I was telling Andre about Pierrot Lee, and I showed him a picture, and he said he looks like a
Bear.
plug, but with hands. And I was like, yeah, so he can jiggle the
Beard.
plugs up here.
Angel.
Did Andre clutch his pearls and scream?
No, he thought it was very funny.
Well, yeah.
Face.
All right, so I also go ahead and look up Pierrot Lee. Maybe I'll put a picture of Pierrot Lee.
Pirouli, because otherwise you
Super
will not
French.
find it.
It's a French puppet. It's a little bit obscure. It's a long story.
That's
Okay.
another whole genre is toys and puppets attacking people.
Hey.
Puppet master, toys,
Oh my
dolls.
God, that could be gory.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Pirouli.
I don't know. Now that it's
Back.
plugged, the also tickles your.
Bacon.
That's not that gory.
It's not that gory. I think we can go further. Okay.
Moving on.
So we decided the monster will be a humanoid type monster. Where does the monster live? What's the setting? Let's get into settings, and then we can further refine the monster.
All right. Because you want to write a setting that's someplace you want to actually talk about and have something interesting happen in and have something scary happen.
Like a swamp.
Yes. Because you need, of course, isolation for the bottle story. All horror movies are generally a bottle story where the people and the monster and the events happen in a place that's outside of society to keep them from safety
Yes.
or help or some sort of outside intervention.
So, like I'm as good as okay.
I think
Then
these
of course we
victory
come
creeks are all
across
gonna
we
show
come
up on it.
what?
I think these victory creeks.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a spooky ghost in the background creaking
Yes,
in the
it's
old
all-
rocker.
It's all part of the audio soundscape.
That's the ghost of Pira Lee
dreamscape.
creaking away in the background.
You should just oil your chair. It's the worst.
Oil up my chair.
Yeah, please.
So where do you want to write about? Because you can write it about anywhere. It could even be an apartment building in a city. All you need to do is bottle it. Keep away for people to not get out.
Okay, I was going to actually bring up about, since obviously it's a kind of everyone has a cell phone, so that's always the first thing you got to knock out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
This is
is
the
it
problem with modern horror.
is it or we could set it in an earlier time,
Mm-hmm.
and then it
Period
could be,
piece.
I mean, yeah, you could set it way back in like pioneer times, loyalist times.
But then, if you want other people to write about it, then they have to do research to write
No,
about
no,
your story.
no. The thing is, we are anti research on this podcast.
Exactly.
This is about the freedom of your imagination.
So yes, you should definitely not do a period piece then.
Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe you're right. Not the first one. Maybe not the first one. Maybe people won't be feeling that free.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The ghosts have voiced their opinion.
Okay, so where are we doing this? And where?
All right, you're gonna go with classic woods.
Yeah. Okay, so there's something that lives in the woods.
Yes. It
Oh,
yes,
is
it will
it-
be in the woods, but you know, the people will go to the woods. Kind of.
So the people are going to the woods.
Yep,
It's like
mhm.
a summer camp thing.
Or it could be a writer's retreat
No.
in
I
the
don't-
in the
no,
woods.
I don't like that.
It's so meta.
I
Very.
fucking hate that. But okay, I guess it could be any kind of retreat. What kind of retreat? What kind of stupid retreat would people go
Oh
on?
yeah, well, I think this has actually been done in horror movies before, where you do a classic unplugged retreat where no one has cell phones.
That would take care of that problem.
Yes, I think I've seen it before, but it could be used again. Oh yeah, it was like a summer camp movie where the kids all have to go and they're not allowed to bring their cell phones.
Oh, I think
'cause
I
it's
saw
an
that
unplugged.
movie.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what that. Well, who knows?
But anyway, unplugged retreat. It's a thing. It could be a whole genre.
Okay, and that could give us the people a chance to talk about their jobs and what they do and the stresses in their lives, and characters can throw in.
YouTuber retreat. Everyone
No.
unplugs for the
No, I don't like that.
week.
Just people, just like
All right,
just like
general
business
people.
ladies and
Mhm.
stressed out people, and they all have their own little issues. And
Oh yes, it could be a stressed out retreat where it's just like a lot of people with stress. and
Yeah,
they're-
it's like, oh, I just have to
they're
unplug
already
and do yoga
a little
and
bit scared.
drink tea, and
Reiki
that's true. They're all like a little
on edge already.
yeah, because they're already stressed.
Everyone's got their own damaged goods.
Exactly.
label on
Everyone
them.
comes into the story with automatic, interesting backstory, I
Mhm.
guess. So that's something that can be exploited. Okay.
All right, unplugged
right.
stress retreat done in the woods. Done. Oh, you get to write something down. Thank God. We came up with something.
I'm gonna write down business ladies.
Mm-hmm. And is it like a summer camp, or is it like a glamping, or a fancy retreat where it's like a big manor house in the forest?
I really like fall, so I'm gonna it'll be in the fall.
Yeah, I like
and
the fall.
it'll just be like so beautiful trees and things are dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna have like a single manor house or separate cabins.
Well, let's talk a little more about the monster before.
All right.
Just to, I feel like it's a good chance to go back and forth a little. So, now we know where the setting is for the monster. Is it
Mhm.
a group of monsters? Is it like one Bigfoot? What is it? Because now we're in the woods.
Mm-hmm. Single is always the best.
Just one,
Yes.
or maybe there's secretly more than one. But I guess someone else can write that part.
Yeah. That's up to you.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. So basically, I almost said bear, but there's this cocaine bear thing.
All right. I'm
happening
gonna
right
pitch
now.
something right now. So we're watching all those obsession movies. And all the people that were secretly stalkers are all going into the woods to do a retreat, trying to get therapy to stop stalking people. And they end up being hunted down by a horrible monster.
And then you're like, is this part of the therapy? Is it not? Like, people will come and they'll be like, okay, this is like a really intense therapy.
Yeah.
So, like, don't be afraid if weird things happen. And
Yes. I
weird
mean, watching
things-
these obsession movies where the person that stalks the person always ends up killing a bunch of people and then escaping at the end. And we're like, what would happen if all the stalkers from these movies all ended up going to someplace together and had a big sequel movie?
Yeah, and they were all stalking the same lady.
Mm-hmm.
But I already wrote down business ladies. Now I have to cross that out and put stalkers.
No, they're still business ladies.
Business ladies / stalkers.
They're all business ladies, but they're all Me Too business ladies. They've all been harassing all their assistants.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Oh, and they've all been sent here for like HR treatment. It's an HR treatment for lady executives.
HR treatment.
They're like, now you're all going to learn how to treat the men who work under you in a respectful manner.
That is topical and with a unique angle.
That-
so,
right?
Okay.
I think that could
let's go
that
there.
could be a lot of fun
Okay.
for everybody.
And on sexual harassment, no matter which way it goes, no matter which gender and this or that, is a serious topic that is a human ill. So it even fits in with that.
And
Now,
it gives them the automatic revenge thing that everybody thinks, oh my God, the person that I have wronged is coming to get me. But it's some sort of something else. Whether or not it actually is, some sort of revenge monster for sexual harassment. They could all think that, and they're like, oh no, everyone thinks that their own person is coming to stalk them.
And maybe they're gonna lose their job if they don't go. They're like,
100%.
You know
They
what I
have
mean?
to
Where it's
stay.
like you have to
Fine.
go and you have to not use your cell phone.
Yeah, you have to go, and you can't use your cell phone, and you can't leave once things start getting kind of sketchy. So you can have those first 2 or 3 disappearances, and people are like, well, we're going to stay, even though those people obviously left, and blah, 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 but I got to stay, otherwise I'm going to lose my fucking high-paid job, and I'm going to be...
Finger.
It would be nice.
Because you always want those 2 or 3 to get killed first, and everyone's like, oh no, what's going on, but we can't really leave, oh my God.
We still haven't really settled on I guess we don't really have to settle on a monster.
Well, it's
like
going to come
actual
as we
physical
work
form.
through it. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe in the podcasts to come, I'll come back for some more brainstorming with you.
Because that will, it doesn't have to necessarily be anything involved with that other than it just happens to be happening at the same time.
The first 2 beats that we'll be working on, 1.5 beats. The world is not what it seems. 666 words of that. Beat 1 is the reader catches an early glimpse of the monster or a hint that the monster exists. This is optional and might occur right away, often as a prologue or after the main characters have been introduced. I like it to be before. Because that way I only
Like a
have
little...
to, because that way I
they show
only
the
have
monster
to
doing something before anyone shows up.
Yeah.
Before the drone shot or the women running together.
No, it's after that for
Oh.
sure. It's before women running together, but it's after the drone shot.
Got it.
And if any of you watch Lifetime thriller movies, you'll understand exactly what we're talking about.
What is it? Something in Barry?
David,
David?
Pierre David, and Tom Barry of
David
Real
and Barry.
One.
That's
David
gold,
and Barry.
people. Pure gold.
Yeah, if you watch a Lifetime thriller movie, as in one that has like The Wrong whatever or Obsessed blah or
You mess with the
Psycho
wrong
this.
dump-to-dump.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Those were fun.
Those are really good.
And then we have now beat 2, putting the players in action. I'm only going to do, or the first person. If you're lucky enough to be listening to this right now,
And
You-
God bless you.
you could be the first one. You could do
Mhm.
it. And it's called Putting the Players in Action. We need 333, and it says you introduce important characters.
Important characters. Mm.
Editing Crandall here. What you just heard was someone, supposedly my best friend, laughing at me when my laptop went to sleep right in the middle of me reading the beat sheet. Let me just play that again for you so you can really hear the glee that he found in my embarrassment and misfortune. Enjoy.
And God bless you.
You could be the first one. You could do
Mm.
it. And it's called Putting the Players in Action. We need 333, and it says you introduce important characters.
Important characters.
So let's specifically talk about that, and then we can get out of this brainstorm because it's getting spooky out
Well,
there.
what about the monster? We need a monster.
Yeah, because
This is
the
what we're
world
here
is
for.
not.
We
Yeah,
could brainstorm the monster.
that's what. Yeah, now we're out there because the world is not as it seems, and we need to show the monster doing something, like something where we're like, what, or like, oh no, like that's.
But not the monster in repose. That doesn't come yet.
No.
You have to show the monster being the monster, and
Yeah.
then you show the monster in repose.
Just show that, like, okay, so we'll have to show the setting of the place, or like, I don't know, the setting of the place, and
Well, it's the setup before any of the campers get there.
yeah,
It's
it
just
could be like
a-
maybe they're just digging graves, or maybe they're
digging graves.
cleaning
What?
gore. What? Yeah, like
Cleaning
the staff.
gore. The staff. Oh,
staff.
this happens every time.
I don't. Maybe I don't know. This is a brainstorm,
Oh
baby.
my goodness! I like where this is headed.
I'm trying to think of the most exciting thing.
Like I was
Or
thinking, the
most
staff
exciting
would also-
666 words
the
I can
staff
write.
would also get get attacked, but I guess if they're in,
They
on it-
could, or they could be feeding the beast,
exactly in some sort of cultish way.
and that's to be determined. Right now, all we have to worry about is.
Oh, it is Piroli. They're a cult of Piroli.
Well, you know what, people? If you want to write this first section and make it a cult of Piroli or any of the sections, we are not a
Well, since-
podcast of.
It's a ladies' retreat.
Yes,
It could be a cult to Bast, the lady cat god
of the home,
of the home from Egypt, and yeah.
because they're like too far away from being the barefoot and pregnant. You know what? I found out the barefoot and pregnant is it means like it's how the husband traps the woman. He's like,
Yeah.
it's like a
Everyone
little,
knows that.
It's
right?
like a little joke to be like, yeah, we're poor, and we're always
Fountain.
fucking, so she's barefoot and pregnant. But really, he's like, yo, like it's the only way I can keep her from running around is to keep her barefoot, is in
Yeah.
like not buy her shoes.
Don't give her
so
shoes.
she can't go outside.
She cannot escape.
And keep her pregnant, so I guess no one else wants to.
Fox.
Yeah.
Anyway. What was I talking about?
Bast, man.
Yeah, sure, maybe.
A cult of Bast.
Maybe I'll write that down.
Or
in
just some
case.
other generic cat goddess in the swamp.
Oh, is it a swamp?
I don't know.
I thought it was
Swamp,
just the woods.
forest, the woods. There could be a swamp out back.
Maybe
Forest
like
with
a
some swamp.
forest with like cliff sides for railing kills and whatnot.
Oh, I know a root and railing kill. Oh my god.
Or like a suicide, or like someone. Oh, like that could be the first kill. Is like, wait, okay, we have to open with a kill.
Well, yes, you always have to open with a
So
kill.
that's what I'm saying. So maybe the first kill is a lady killing herself.
Quote unquote.
But really, the
But really, she was murdered.
murder. So okay, yeah, the opening could be the staff of the place scooping guts off of rocks, where this lady jumped to her death.
Yes.
So we're like, we get a lot of gore.
And they're all like, oh, no, there's nothing really going on, but there's something going on.
Yeah, and like I don't know if the staff knows or not. Maybe that can be part of the mystery of the story.
Or some staff know and some staff don't.
Yes, that I think is to come. So okay, we'll start. Maybe. Again, this is all just talk. Okay, if you
'Cause
have
you
a
got
better
that,
idea,
You got the cat lady
do
god,
it.
so she's got claws for attacking. But she's also, it could be like, she's Egyptian, so she could like, have Egyptian like weapons and stuff.
yeah.
Stabbing.
And I guess if you're like alive and being mummified, that'd be gory.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have some mummification.
Okay, I'm getting
Some
more
hook
into the
nosing
best.
and okay, all right, we got something going on here.
Oh, we got it going.
Yeah.
This is what brainstorm's about, baby.
You got it going on. Could be something like, like some Egyptian like mummy got brought over to America, a
Yeah.
long time ago. And here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, some
Okay.
high priestess of Bast or something.
Okay, so
It could even be that. Maybe it's not Bast. Maybe it's a high priestess of Bast. But she's has a cat face or something because of mummification and whatnot.
sure.
Oh, they sewed a giant leopard head to her body.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh wait, the suicide lady?
Or no. Oh, they could do that to all the bodies.
What?
And then they come back too. The priestess, I was thinking, though. Has
I don't know. I don't like
a-
zombies, dude. I'm not into zombies.
But, they could be mummified and then, have cat, heads put on them.
Okay,
Or
so
tiny cat paws
okay,
put onto their
okay. Well,
hands.
look, this could
Tiny
be
little cat
instead of the
paws.
scooping the gore off the rocks for the opening,
Mhm.
the sewing on of cat parts to a human person could be the
Oh.
gore of the opening. Go ahead.
Because it's the woods and stuff, and it's in
Yeah.
America, so it could be just like, oh, it's a mountain lion or blah blah blah, but it's not.
Oh, okay. So
So
the opening will be the scooping up of of body parts and whatnot from I don't know, the woods or a part of the spa or
yeah, could be.
maybe
could
like
be.
a mud bath,
Yeah,
a bunch of
hippies.
goo in it, blood and bones and stuff.
yeah. Oh,
What am I
yeah.
saying?
Well, this is
You
where the
know,
writing
there's
comes
no
in.
there's
is
no bad
brainstorm.
things to talk about in a brainstorm.
This is all stuff. It's all going into the stew.
Exactly, and
The
you
stew, the mud stew.
the mud stew with the gore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have a
Got some
couple
options there to throw
Yeah, we have a
out.
couple different ideas for the opening. Let's talk about a couple of characters. I think what I'll do, since the character introduction.
Look, it's our little bast. Ooh.
So I was thinking that because the character introduction of beat 2 is split into 2 parts, that I could introduce, or the first person who writes it, not necessarily me. Maybe it's you. I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. Why won't you do it? Just do it. You're gonna have fun. Do it. But anyway, I thought that because the character introduction is split into 2 parts, that I could introduce a few characters, and then they could all be kind of talking about a different character, but she doesn't show up yet. And then that sets it up for the next person to start with, and then this person walks through the door and they get to create who that is. Do you know what I mean?
Like the leader.
I don't know about that, but everyone's talking about her. There's something about her that's interesting or different or whatever. You know what I mean? How
Like,
the
we're all
story.
setting up the camp, but we gotta wait till the leader gets here, the director.
Oh, you think that? Oh no, I'm talking. Oh, you're talking about the characters of the. I suppose
Yeah,
it would be the characters that work at the spa,
yeah, exactly.
the retreat.
Or they're like, ooh, I heard this lady's coming. She's from this company. Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So in this first section, the first 1,000 words, the characters being introduced will be a few of the characters of people who work at the resort, and then the girls, the business ladies, they'll show up, and the next person can write those people. Will that be Rip? Will that be you? I don't.
frog,
I don't know.
But so remember, Rip, if no one signs up to continue this, you have to continue it.
I'm very busy, people, so sign up. I've got things to do.
He told me he would help me. He would do it.
I
And
will
now-
do it if
now
I
he's-
have to.
Now he's backing down.
I'm telling
I
you,
don't
I'll
know
do
what to
it,
tell you.
but I
Like,
want you to do it because
oh,
I
is that-
love
is that a
you.
friend?
I
Would
love
call
you
that person
all.
A friend? I don't know about that.
I don't want to take the fun away from all of the great writers.
Oh, I know, right? That's the thing.
And all
Okay.
you writers that say, "Oh, I love writing," but you never write anything, write it. You can do it.
That's a good tip for the brainstorm. And that's the whole point of the podcast, is that, you know what? Writing things and putting them out, it's stressful and sucks. And you have to pay just to
front,
fucking have your
straw,
maybe read off a slush pile. It's like, what? You
No,
don't have
thank
to
you.
pay
Sheep.
for this. You don't got patience
Shed.
for this.
You're just going to get out there.
Yeah, or not. And it's random. So if you suck, if you're good, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Who cares? That's not the point. Go ahead and continue. You got more coughs in you. We're literally almost done. Like, I'm just
No,
gonna-
do your
We're
thing.
just going to wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Wrap up.
Okay, thank you, Ripley, for joining me here in the Spooky Room Productions Lounge to brainstorm. I think we got a lot of good stuff, and I'm going to put it now out to the world. Ripley, do you have any words of encouragement to people who were like, I don't know if I want to, I don't want to go to a website and push a button and...
For all you people that don't want to go to a website and push a button, or don't want to send an email, or think that, nah, I'm not going to do that. 20 years from now, when you're dying in a gutter,
20.
pathetic and sad, crippled by the drink because you're a pathetic writer. Think back and say, oh, I should have just did it. I could have just did it.
I should have been one of those few dozen monkeys, man. I could have been me.
It could have been me. I could have been one of those monkeys.
I could have turned it all around. I could
I
have got
could've
that
been part
shout
of
out. I
something.
could have got that shout out from Crandall, man.
Could have been
Frozen.
something. But no, I'm just another drunk.
Oh my God.
Dying in the street, sitting at the coffee shop, trying to attract some young thing and saying, oh, I'm a writer, you know. And they all go, so? Anything I've heard? Well, if you submit to here, maybe they would have heard of you. And then you might have got some.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Men, ladies, all you want to get some.
Wait a minute. Ripley, have you been into the scotch here in the Spooky Room Productions Lounge?
No, I've been into the art juice.
The art juice. I'm so sorry. That's right. The art juice.
I've been arting all afternoon. Now-
But not in the lounge. You can't art in the lounge.
No, I art in the Spooky Room studio a few feet
Not
over.
the recording studio, but the art studio.
The art studio.
Yes, which is a
another
different
couple of
place.
feet
It's
over.
a different place.
This is the lounge. That's the recording studio. And that's the art
And
studio
don't
over
forget
there.
about the conference room.
The
There
conference
is a
room is right
conference room.
there.
There's a chair.
The YouTube studio, which is there.
Anyway, Spooky Room Productions is just a huge, beautiful building.
It's massive. They've
honest.
seen it, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
They
They saw
they've
that.
seen the
That
video.
was the podcast. Anyway, okay.
The reliquary and the museum and
So, Ripley, this is your time as you say adieu
I love you.
to this. No, to this podcast.
I love you
today.
all, my citizens. I love
It's
you.
time to plug your stuff. Go ahead.
Concordia is coming soon. SpookyRoomProductions.com. Productions with an S.com.
Do you have a Instagram or anything for people to look at?
Instagram, Ripley Stonebrook. YouTube, Ripley Stonebrook.
Do you want to spell that?
RIPLEY STONEBROOK.
Do you want to do it in sign language? I'll put some sign language sound effects. Go ahead.
Is it the same sound effect as my twining fingers?
Let's see. That's beautiful. Oh, and there's the chair, meaning it's
Victory
time
squeak.
to go.
Purely creaking away in his chair.
All right, I'm going to go back to the podcast studio and finish chatting with all of my wildcats, my best friends, my new buddies. Wow, that was a fantastic brainstorm. So I know now you're all hopping and jumping and ready to write. So let's get into the rules and regs real quick. Number 1, the winning chapter will be read at the beginning of each podcast, followed by your name and 100 words or less of what you want me to tell the world about you. I will explain the beat. We will brainstorm. Of course, you can always do your own ideas, but you have to cover the beats. You have to. So who decides if you have covered the beats? Me. I am. I am the arbiter of that. Number 2. Each chapter is a 1,000 word limit. 10 chapters with 1.5 beats per chapter will give us our 10,000 word story at the end. So it's 1.5 beats, so we'll do 666 words for one beat and 333 words for the half beat. So the first chapter will be all of beat 1 and half of beat 2. The second chapter will be half of beat 2 and all of beat 3, etc., etc., etc. Rule 3. Any form is fine. If you can cover the beats with a haiku or screenplay or normal prose, that's I don't care. Maybe give yourself a challenge. Try to do it. Cover the beats in the least amount of words possible. You can stay in your comfort zone, but this is a time to experiment if you want.
Fruit.
Trucks. There's lots of trucks. You drive by the studio. You'd think a recording studio, you wouldn't be able to hear outside noise, but you know, it's Spooky Room Productions. Things are different here. Rule number 4, keep things are like, how much detail do we need in the sex and the violence? I mean, the violence part, this is a gore story, so things are going to get pretty detailed, I assume, during the violence part. Use your judgment. And for the sex part, obviously, no underage, no animals. If you find yourself describing someone's genitals, you've gone too far. But really, with the very kind of a strict word limit and a lot of beat to cover, you probably won't have room for that. But anyway, who decides if you've been too explicit? Me. I'm the arbiter of that. Rule number 5, I am not going to edit anything at all, ever. I'm just going to read it. I'm just going to read it with your grammar, your spelling, your punctuation. But that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, because this is not about perfection. This can be as rough as you want to make it. We're just playing around. There's no pressure. It's not like you're trying to get published. This is a tombola. You just get them beats down, and you could be the lucky winner. Like, if no one, heaven forbid, writes in, I'm going to have to write the first chapter. I'm probably going to just leave it at first draft, maybe second draft, to make sure that the commas are in the right place and spelling is good. And I'll probably have to edit it just for words. But anyway, point is, I'm not going to try my hardest. I'm just going to have fun. I would suggest you do the same. Rule number 6, research is optional. You can bullshit if you want. You can research if you want. And whatever you write, whether it's factually, historically true or not, and if it fulfills the beats, that will become the truth in the story. If you want to research, I like researching. Researching can be a lot of fun, but you don't have to. Rule number 7, the tombola. There will be a random draw of qualified entries. The winner will be read on the podcast, obviously, and you will be forever part of the story. And if there are no qualified entries, I will write it. I will write it loosely and roughly, but I will get the job done. You'll see. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully I won't have to do that. Hopefully you guys will help me out. Don't put me I have things to do. If no one writes in, then I'll write one, and then I'll get a friend to write one, and maybe I'll write the third one. But you guys, you're not going to leave us hanging. You'll write it. It'll be cool. We got this, y'all. This is rule number 8, how to submit. I know you've just been dying to know. So there is a form at spookyroomproductions.com, and it's, you can just put all the information in there. 1,000 word limit. It doesn't have to be 1,000 words. You can use your real name, your pen name. You can write a 100 word self-promo or disclaimer or whatever you want me to read after I say your name. The name of your chapter is not included in your 1,000 words. You can also give me a name for the overall story, because right now I don't have one, obviously. And all drawn chapters will have their story title name entered in a different tombola. And when the story is complete, the winner of that tombola will be the person that names the story. So that's going to be fun. Don't forget, there is an illustrated podcast on YouTube on Crandall Monk. There is, if you're going to submit artwork, But artists, visual artists, you're allowed to you're allowed to submit one piece per submission paint name. Is it called a pen name when you're a painter? Anyway, or your socials, the same 100 word limit, self-promo, or whatever you want me to say after your name. No sign up for anything. No sign up. No reading fee. No nothing. You also get no payment except the practice being part of something fun and cool. A shout out by me. Hey, I have like 5 subs on YouTube right now, so getting paid with that kind of exposure, woof. Okay. If you need a recap of all any of those rules, it's all at spookyroomproductions.com. Check it out. Think about it. Before we go, I'm going to give you an author quote. According to Ray Bradbury, if you can write one short story a week, it doesn't matter what the quality is to start, at least you're practicing. At the end of the year, you have 52 short stories, and I defy you to write 52 bad ones. It can't be done. After 30 or 40 weeks, all of a sudden a story will come that is wonderful, just wonderful. That's what happened to me. Thank you, Mr. Bradbury. I think I think that's exactly what we all needed to hear. Because now it's time to write. So I need you to submit chapter 1 by May 4th, 2024 at midnight Atlantic time. Next podcast will drop on May 11th, 2024. And that will start with the first chapter, whatever that will be. So just remember, it's better to finish something than give up on everything. You know what I mean? Let's go.